I thought I'd talk about something, which is that when you kind of start with working out or um, whatever other like goal, if you're trying to build a business or whatever else, um, your goal should always kind of be progress, not perfection. And you might think that why shouldn't perfection be the goal? Why can't I try and do it perfect? And it's a common mistake I see that um, a lot of people that I've seen go into business, either friends of mine or mentors of mine, um, or just people I don't know. Like I've seen this where they spend all this money and they put a ton of time in and a ton of money in and they try to get everything perfect, and they try to get everything really perfect. And like the problem with it kind of is that what you think is perfect is your perception of what you think is perfect, but that's wrong, and it's like necessarily wrong. So like as like a businessman, as an entrepreneur, if I were to hire someone, I would always hire the person who is consistent rather than perfect. I know Bill Gates, he said that like he would always hire the lazy person rather than the person that's super insanely hardworking, because maybe the lazy person is just more consistent, and then the other thing is that the lazy person will kind of find ways to do it smarter, faster, easier, cheaper. They'll find shortcuts to do it. They'll find new ways of doing it, you know. Um, if you try to do things perfect, perfect is just our perception of perfect, but it's always wrong. I know that now, being 6 years into powerlifting and getting pretty dang close to the elite levels, the world record totals are just like 100 pounds away, maybe in each of the lifts. I'm pretty at like a fairly high level, but still like I have a long way to go. I see that like it's been 6 years, but I still feel like I'm doing everything wrong, like everything backwards, and it's kind of like the thing that like you're doing everything wrong, but you just learn to do things less wrong. It's not like you really learn the right way or the perfect way, but you keep showing up. The goal is progress, not perfection, and the goal is beating like past versions of yourself. Um, so yeah, what ends up happening to perfectionists is a number of different things. A lot of the time, it could be that they, I mean, they spend too much money, they go into too much risk, they go into too much debt, they make a ton of mistakes. They spend money that they don't have. They try to do too much, either too quickly or, I mean, they go beyond keeping it simple, and they try to just do too much, and versus the person who's making progress, they're consistent, they show up, maybe they set little goals or deadlines here or there, but I would take that person each time because they'll be in the game the longest, and they're not gonna like e- even like if you took like one instance, one competition, or one kind of like competitive day where person A and person B, if it's their business or their lifting competition or whatever else, if they have to go up against each other, and person one like works insanely hard, ridiculously hard, and wins, I would still say that person two, if they work like way less hard, but they're just like a little shy of person one, maybe they'll be beating person one. And the reason being is that they can be in the game consistently longer. They can, if at any time they want to put in like extra work, like a little bit, they can. But it's kind of the thing too. I heard, I forgot who said this, but like if you take the top billionaires in the world, or you take the lowest earning workers in the world, like 99.999%, like the billionaires making billions more, thousands of millions, like insanely, inhumanly, kind of ridiculously more money than the other person, but they're not working harder in terms of that way. I think it was Ty Lopez who said it, like that like not hard work is kind of very like low correlation to whether you have success or not. And I think what it is kind of doing things smarter, doing things different, being willing to show up, being willing to put consistent work and consistent effort in. But I always see like when you put hard work in, maybe it's coming out of other things. And instead of doing hard work, if you took the time to do all the little things right and do them consistently, that would kind of yield the best return, you know? It's not the person that's working insanely hard, but it's the person that does all the little things right, all the boring things. That's the person that kind of succeeds. The person that does the boring things consistently, and that's just kind of like my main thoughts. And then the other thing again is that perfection is just our perception of what perfection is, but it's wrong a lot of the time. You know, you feel like you put in a good day's work, you feel like you did a lot, but in fact, maybe it wasn't that much. But in fact, like the days you didn't think that were perfect, if you look at the results, maybe you did a lot more in them than the days you thought like did go perfect. You know, so that's just kind of my thoughts. Your goal should be progress, not perfection, and this is kind of a good goal to have long term. And if your goal is progress, to do something small every single day, which was like my goal with the Instagram or with other things, it grows into something pretty big once a few months or more goes by. Versus if your goal is perfection, maybe you burn out and a lot of time like passes, you know. So yeah, those are just kind of my thoughts and why progress is more important than perfection, and you want to do the little things more than like massive amounts of hard work. Doing all the little things kind of adds up to more.